Hey everyone, welcome to YFariStudios Aqua. It has been my hobby to keep fish of all sorts since I was 9 years old. In this first episode for YFariStudios Aqua Series, I will show you the basics for setting up an aquarium. I will demonstrate this on my 36-gallon aquarium that I was using for my cichlids previously. The things you will need is your aquarium, of course, your aquarium stands, your aquarium hooded lamp. All these may come with the aquarium as well as the filter and filter cartridge. You will need a heater, a power system to distribute the power, an air pump, some nets, a sump, bacteria, chlorine remover, water tester, a sponge, gravel, some towels, fake or real plants, some rocks, fake ornaments, and most importantly, some buckets. You might not need all of those things that I've just mentioned, but it's good to have them just in case. So here are the steps. The first step for setting up your aquarium is to clean your gravel. I already have some gravel in my aquarium, which is already clean, but I'm going to be putting in some extra gravel, not just to show you, but because I need some. So for cleaning the gravel, keep in mind that you're trying to get all the dust and dirt and grime from the gravel out of the gravel and into your drain. So don't skip this test because you do not want dirt in your water. So the basic steps of cleaning your gravel is to put your gravel in a bucket. Make sure that the bucket has enough room to put all your gravel in and still have like twice as much space. That way you could swoosh the gravel around inside the water that you're going to put in the bucket. And you will notice that the water will get murky and will get dusty, and maybe some stuff will float up as well, maybe plastic or something. And that's the stuff that you're going to want to remove from the gravel. So you're going to dump this water, this dirty water, into your drain, and you're going to fill up your water again and do the process all over again. Once your water quality is beautifully clean and clear, then you will dump it one more time, fill it up one more time, and leave it that way. You want some water in there so then it will be easy to put the gravel into your aquarium. And this is the next step, putting the gravel into the aquarium. You may need to put some water into your bucket again to get the remainder of the gravel out, because gravel is very sticky once it's been washed, and even before it's been washed actually. So yeah, as you can see, it really stuck to my hands. You may also want to wipe the gravel from the glass of the aquarium if it's spilled on the glass, because even though this is not really an important step, but as you can see here, I like to do it because I like to be neat and tidy. And you can also smooth out your gravel, but I'm not going to really bother with that right now because the next step is going to mess it all up. The next step is to put all your big rocks and ornaments and then the smaller ones in. So a good tip for putting big heavy things in the aquarium is to be really careful and slow. That way you don't break your aquarium glass, and make sure none of your ornaments are touching the glass of the aquarium. That way you reduce the risk of scraping your glass. Also, you will need to move all the gravel away from heavy rocks. But not all of the gravel. Make sure there's a thin layer at the bottom of the aquarium. That way it doesn't scrape the glass of the bottom of the aquarium. And you're going to put the rock on this thin layer of gravel. The reason for this is if one of your fish goes under the rock by digging or something, the rock might collapse on top of it and that will kill the fish, well obviously. And you don't want that. So you want the rock to be on a stable surface, which is a thin layer of gravel at the bottom of your aquarium. And now, as you can see here, I'm putting a fake ornament in the aquarium. I'm not going to bother moving the gravel around because this ornament is very light, but I will be pushing it a little bit into the gravel. That way none of the fish get inside it, because this ornament is hollow and is not a solid object. That's why it's so light. Then you're going to be putting all your smaller objects inside the aquarium. If you will be stacking rocks one on top of the other in the aquarium, I suggest none of the rocks are touching the sides of the aquarium, and that you make sure, like 3 times, make sure that your rocks are completely stable and are not going to move around. I also suggest that you use glue, non-toxic glue, to stick the rocks together, but this is not a crucial step. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to make sure that the rocks are stable because my fish are going to be peaceful fish and they won't be bashing the rocks around. And also because the aquarium is really heavy and the aquarium will not be shaking. By the way, rocks need to be cleaned before, like real rocks need to be cleaned before you put them in the aquarium. The procedure for cleaning rocks will be talked about in another episode for YFariStudios Aqua. The next step is to fill the aquarium up. Filling the aquarium is an easy step, but may take a lot of patience, especially if you are using buckets like I am. It may take, like in my case, like 15, 16, 17 buckets. So yeah, it's gonna take a long time. Some people put like a plate or a bowl at the bottom of their aquarium while filling up their aquarium so then the water doesn't move the gravel out of the way. But I'm not going to do this step because my rocks and ornaments are in the way to reduce the amount of gravel moved from where it already is. So I'm not going to do that step. So I am finished filling my aquarium. The water is a bit murky and milky, but that is not something to worry about. Do not worry about that. It will eventually go away. So the next step is to set up your electrical system. Turn on your heater, your filter. If you have an old filter cartridge like I do, you should use it because it will add good and beneficial bacteria into the aquarium and speed up the cycling process. The cycling process is basically the process of ammonia and nitrates, I think nitrites actually, or is it nitrates? It's nitrites. Decomposing and turning into nitrates, and then you're removing the nitrates from the aquarium, and that's it. So it will speed up this process because the bacteria is what transforms the nitrites and ammonia into nitrates, which that is like a basic, like a crude example of the cycle. You will also be turning on your lamp and setting up your air pump. After this, you will add conditioner, bacteria to the aquarium. Yeah, you can add bacteria if you want. I'm going to do this, but it's not really a crucial step. Conditioner to remove the chlorine, though, is a crucial step. You have to do this. Then you can clean the glass if it has any bubbles or algae on it. This is, for me, a crucial step because there is algae on my glass. But for new aquariums, you will see bubbles on the aquarium glass. You don't really have to clean this off, but it's nice to clean it off if you want it to look nice. A good tip is to make sure that your electrical system is not near any water and you're sure that no water will spill on it because that will, be a disaster if that happens. After all this, you could put your plants in, your real plants or your fake plants, because your real plants don't need the aquarium to be completely cycled. After a week or two, you're ready for fish. As you can see here, I've put an assortment of neon tetras and bottom feeders into the aquarium. Since I'm in the future right now while I'm talking, I know that I've also put in a Grammy, which I will be removing because it's a bit too aggressive. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Please comment and subscribe. More episodes coming too, talking about the types of fish you can put together, how to deal with mistakes and problems such as the Grammy problem I'm having right now. I'll also be showing you how to set up 2 more aquariums, a 5-gallon and a 26-gallon aquarium. And I'll also be showing you how to keep betta fish soon. So please stay in tune and please subscribe. Thank you for watching, everybody. Goodbye. camera.